What is chemistry? Take a deep breath. Oxygen filling your lungs is made of atoms that were created billions of years ago inside exploding stars. The blood flowing through your body is made of molecules that have existed since before Earth was formed. Even the device you're watching on can exist because of carefully controlled chemical reactions. Everything around you is made of matter, and the science that explains how matter behaves is called chemistry. Chemistry is often called the central science because it connects physics, biology, geology, astronomy, medicine, and many other types of science. Whether we're studying the smallest atom or the largest galaxy, chemistry helps us explain how the universe works. Everything begins with the atom. Atoms are the basic building blocks of all matter. They are incredibly small, so small that millions of them could fit across the width of a human hair. Although atoms are tiny, they are made of even smaller particles. At the center is the nucleus, which contains positively charged protons and neutral neutrons. Surrounding the nucleus are negatively charged electrons, moving so quickly they form what scientists call an electron cloud. There are more than 180 known elements, each defined by a number of protons in its atom. Hydrogen, with just one proton, is the simplest and most abundant element in the whole entire universe. Carbon. It forms the backbone of all known life. Oxygen. It allows most living organisms to breathe, live, and survive. Iron. It gives strength to buildings and even carries oxygen through your blood. These elements are organized in one of science's most greatest achievements, the periodic table. At first glance, it may look like a colorful chart hanging in a classroom, but it is actually a map of the building blocks of the universe. Elements in the same column are often behaving similarly because they have similar arrangements of electrons. The simple pattern allows scientists to predict how different elements will react even before experiments are performed. But individual atoms rarely remain alone. Instead, they combine to form molecules through the chemical bonds. Water, for example, is created when two hydrogen atoms bond with one another and an oxygen atom, forming H2O or water. Table salt forms when sodium and chlorine combine. Carbon atoms join together in countless ways, creating everything from graphite in a pencil to diamonds, one of the hardest natural materials on Earth. The way atoms bond determines the properties of every material around us. But chemistry isn't only about building substances, it's also about changing them. A chemical reaction occurs whenever atoms rearrange themselves to create new substances. Some reactions happen in a fraction of a second, while others can take years, even millions of years. When you light a candle, wax reacts with oxygen and produces heat. Light, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. When iron rusts, it slowly reacts with oxygen and moisturizes in the air. Even digesting your lunch is a series of thousands of chemical reactions, breaking food into nutrients your body can use. In every reaction, one important rule always applies. Matter is never created or destroyed. Atoms simply rearrange into new combinations. Some recreations release energy, burning gasoline powers a car. Rocket fuel launches spacecraft into an orbit. Fireworks produce spectacular explosions through carefully controlled chemical reactions. Other reactions absorb energy. Instant cold packs, for example, become cold because chemicals inside absorb heat from their surroundings. Chemistry also explains why materials look and behave differently. Gold remains shiny for centuries because it reacts with very little amount of other substances. Sodium, however, reacts so violently with water that it can explode. Helium is lighter than air, allowing balloons to float, while mercury remains a liquid even at room temperature. These unique properties allow scientists and engineers to choose the right materials for everything from airplanes to smartphones. Speaking of smartphones, chemistry is responsible for almost every part of modern technology. Lithium-ion batteries store energy through chemical reactions. Computer chips rely on carefully purified silicon. Plastic cases, glass screens, rechargeable batteries, medicines, cosmetics, fertilizers, and even the clothes we wear all exist because of chemistry. Medicine has been transformed by chemistry as well. Scientists design molecules that target specific diseases, develop vaccines, and train our immune systems, and create antibiotics capable of fighting deadly bacteria infections. Every new drug begins a chemical idea before becoming a treatment that can save our lives. Chemistry also helps us understand our planet. It explains why volcanoes erupt, why the oceans are salty, how clouds form, and why climate changes over time. Environmental chemists study pollution, develop cleaner fuels, and search for new ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But perhaps the most incredible story of chemistry begins far beyond Earth. Shortly after the Big Bang, the universe contained mostly hydrogen and helium. Over millions of years, gravity pulled these elements together, forming the first stars. Inside those stars, temperatures reached millions, even billions of degrees. Under these extreme conditions, atoms fuse together to create heavier elements like carbon, oxygen, silicon, and iron. When massive stars reach the end of their lives, they explode as a supernova, scattering these newly formed elements across the universe. Those same elements eventually came together to form new stars, planets, oceans, mountains, and eventually life itself. Every atom of calcium in your bones, every atom of iron in your blood, every atom of oxygen you breathe was forged inside a star for billions of years before you were even born. In a very real sense, we are all made of stardust. Today, chemistry continues to shape our future. Scientists are developing cleaner energy sources, stronger materials, biodegradable plastics, artificial organs, and new technologies that were once thought to be impossible. Every discovery begins with understanding how atoms interact. Chemistry isn't just another subject taught in school. It's a science behind every meal you eat, every breath you take, every medicine that heals, every star that shines, and every piece of matter in the universe. From the smallest atom to the largest galaxies, chemistry connects everything. It doesn't simply explain what the universe is made of. It explains how the universe works.